What's up, guys? It's Will back again, and today we're here to do another collectible preview video. And I know if you've been listening to me on any of the podcasts, Paradox Nerd, Optical 20, whatever, I've been saying I've kind of sworn off third-party figures for a little bit, but this one, guys, I'm going to break a little bit of my swearing off of these figures because this is one that bears discussion and bears looking at. So that's what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to take a look at this GameToys 1/6 scale Sephiroth figure that we're looking at from Final Fantasy VII. Looks like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I loved. So I haven't actually reviewed that game, but guys, trust me, it's incredible. It's actually my second favorite game of all time. I think I've made that declaration at this point in my own mind. It's an amazing game and it's really, really great. So what I've pulled up here, this was actually announced last night. So this was announced last night. And I buy a lot of if I do buy unlicensed third-party figures, I do tend to buy them from 1/6 Kit, from Kit Chen. I've had a lot of good experiences from him. Again, no relationship with him whatsoever. I just have good experiences. And the price is always pretty good to us in the States. So I tend to go with him. So I'm always on the lookout for things he's announcing here and there that are going to show up. And last night, this one popped up on my feed and I was like, whoa. I don't like third-party figures anymore, really. I'm not a huge fan of them, but this one, especially since I have the Cloud GameToys with the Daytona bike, Hardy Daytona bike on pre-order. This one, and I love Sephiroth, guys. So this one is one that I feel like personally I have to grab, even though I'm not, for third-party figures necessarily, just because I feel like sometimes the quality, you never really know what you're going to get with them. Sometimes you'll get an amazing figure. Sometimes you'll get a figure that's not so exciting. So what we're going to do here is look at this Sephiroth figure and kind of figure out, maybe whether it's for you long-term or not. Let's just start by saying, guys, this looks really, really good. There's one thing that I don't love about it. It's this right here. There's a chest area showing here. It's almost as if this little black section right here needs to be either pulled up just a tad or just be a little bit longer to conceal that chest area right there. Because everything about this figure looks very real. It looks like the character, like exactly like Sephiroth, except for that chest piece. That's the little piece that breaks the immersion a little bit. It makes me think this is an action figure. And I don't like that. That's the only thing I don't like about this figure, to be honest. Everything else looks really, really good. Let's take a look at some of the other shots. The sculpt, guys, it's really good. It's not like the best sculpt I've ever seen of a character, but it's really good. And I think it really will go with the Cloud quite nicely. So this is one I think, that if you like Sephiroth, you're probably going to need to pick this up. We'll get into price and everything in a little bit, but for now I'll say this sculpt looks good. Look at the tailoring here on the leather material. They call it a leather material, by the way, which we'll get into. But I'm a little bit worried about that. Hopefully it's not pleather that's going to crack over time. They call it leather material, not leather-like material. So remains to be seen whether it'll be real leather. Probably not. So this might be one long-term that may have some pleather issues, but who knows? It all depends on the quality of the pleather. There's a better shot of the sculpt. Guys, the eyes, I think they nailed the eyes. Hopefully the proto to final product can look this good, but the eyes, Sephiroth's teal, like serpent-like looking eyes, they absolutely nailed that in this figure. They perfectly encapsulate that in the character. It's almost like a little bit too soft of a portrayal of Sephiroth. Like I feel like maybe there's a little bit more detail that could be, had in this sculpt here, but Final Fantasy characters always look a little bit soft in general in the game too. So I kind of get what they were going for here. I'd say that overall this sculpt is like a 9 out of 10. It's really, really good. You know who it is. The hair looks great. The eyes look great. Everything about the features looks very soft and, smooth. And that's kind of how the game is, like I said, so I'm fine with it. But overall, I think this is a good sculpt. I don't think it's perfect. It's not quite 100%, but it's good enough that it's worth a buy. From that angle, whew, that looks really, really good. Guys, I can't pass up on this figure. That looks so good too. This looks like a really cool figure. And guys, look at the detail in the outfit here. Look at his, symbol here that he has in his outfit here. He has everything about the leather straps here. The shoulder pads are supposedly magnetic, which we're going to get into. So that's going to be a little bit interesting. Hopefully those will last long term. But the bracers here, everything about the tailoring looks very smooth. This is going to be a big figure too. He's about a little under 13 and a half inches tall. So he's pretty tall. He's a little bit bigger than your general 1/6 scale figure. So yeah, he's going to be awesome. And of course, guys, he comes with the Masamune Sword. He comes with his typical standard Masamune that's going to be long as hell. And we're going to get into that as well. But yeah, this looks really, really cool. The zippers, everything about the outfit, the detail, the hair. You're not going to be able to move this guy's head very much, to be honest. With that long hair and it being sculpted like that, you're not gonna have too much articulation in the head there. He's probably gonna be able to look to the side, maybe a little bit to the right or left, up or down a little bit, but not much. This is gonna be very much a straightforward pose with this guy probably. But see, that's pretty good. Like what more would you really need to do? You know what I mean? It's not like you really need to get him looking off to one side or the other like fully. So just be careful probably when you get this in hand. This is set to come out actually Q4 of this year. Who knows if it will? It'll probably get delayed. But the articulation should be fine. I don't think this is going to be a major deal per se. But if you put him in a pose like that, that would be awesome. The only thing I'm worried about with a pose like this is that this could be a tight leather suit here. And if you have the elbows bent for a long period of time, it may crack the leather a little bit sooner, a little bit more quickly. It may accelerate that process. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Guys, this is really, really good. And I'm just blown away with how cool this is. This is really, really cool. And for a third-party figure, GameToys is really knocking this out of the park. That sculpt from that angle looks perfect. It looks perfect from that angle. It just really depends on the angle with this one. And you can't even see the chest thing there from that angle. So you might want to put him in a pose like that, to be honest, where you kind of have him to the side a little bit, because then you can kind of conceal any potential flaws with the figure. But that looks really, really cool. The Masamune Sword is going to look awesome. It's so big. Hopefully, I'm a little bit worried about the weight of it. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how that's going to play out. So what's also interesting about this figure is that it comes with a separate sculpt, a closed eye sculpt. I don't see many people using this. It looks cool, kind of, but I really feel like the eyes open sculpt is going to be the one that most people use. Would it be cool to have him in this sculpt with the wing, hanging out? Yeah, sure. But overall, I think this sculpt is mostly going to be one you're probably going to have sit in the box for the most part. Who knows? People may prove me wrong, but it's something that I feel like it looks more, more badass with the eyes open sculpt. But the wing looks really, really cool. I'm a little bit worried about those feathers breaking off long term. So we'll see how that holds up over time, especially considering you can pose it, you can manipulate it. So it has like a structure where you can adjust the wing to your liking. And that's something that's going to be really cool, but I could see like feathers falling off that thing all the time. So really, I don't think this is going to be one where you're going to want to move him a ton. One thing you can also see here about this figure is that the leather tunic here is actually adjustable. It has wires in it. They've noted in the description. So you can actually manipulate that wire to put him in the type of pose that you want, whether it be flying, whatever action pose, whatever typical museum pose. It could really depend. But this looks really cool, guys, with this wing. It's going to take up a lot of space, though. That wing's going to take up a lot of space if you display him like that, but it does look really cool. He does come with a flight stand, which we'll see, but that pose with the wing, that's what I would want to put him in. If I didn't have him just in a standard museum pose standing up, and I had him with the wing display, just like that. But again, I'm worried about the elbow a little bit if we have him pose like that long term. So looks great, but something to think about there. They've added some cool shots in here with the fire. That looks badass, guys. And this is clearly the best Sephiroth figure on the market. The Kai Studios figures that they've made, they're okay. They have exposed joints. They look okay, but this is way better. This is way better. It is. It just is. So what we're also going to look at here, I found this actually from an eBay seller here. This is actually a picture from GameToys showing kind of like everything he comes with. You can see the wing, you get the Masamune Sword, you got the display stand there. It looks like it's a basic stand, doesn't look like there's any sort of nameplate. So it might be one, maybe I could try to find a custom stand, a custom, dynamic stand for Sephiroth. But it's not the end of the world if not. The shoulder pads are actually magnetic, which we'll talk about. You can see the boots here, the two different head sculpts. So yeah, this is going to be really cool. You got a wing connector in the back here that's going to plug into his back, back of the figure. So that's going to be really interesting to see. And I want to see actually a picture of that, but they didn't show it. I wanted to see what that's going to look like in practice, whether it be something that would be bothersome or not. Because yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but they're going to try. So let's take a look here at 1/6 kit and take a look at the price, because you pay a $45 deposit. All in all, you're going to pay $285. That's not terrible for a figure that comes with two head sculpts, one of which you very well may not use, but so it does come with two sculpts. You come, with all of these extra accessories like the Masamune, the wing, the plate, the holder, the wing holder, like the flexibility in the wing where you can articulate it. That's really, really cool. You can articulate the leather tunic. So yeah, I'd say this price is fair considering the wing. If you took the wing out of this, I think this would be much more reasonable. I think this would probably be like a $235 figure. If you took the wing out of it, maybe $240. But the wing is a really, really nice touch. I think a lot of people are going to find themselves using it. So as long as you can keep him stable on the display, the wing's not going to be too heavy. If it's light and substantial at the same time, I think we're going to be okay here. And this is going to look really cool. So yeah, this one looks really, really great. And this is one that I'm super excited for. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But for me, this is an absolute buy. I've already pre-ordered this from 1/6 Kit. Like I said, I do recommend them because I've had good experiences from them in the past, ordering figures from them. I don't get a ton of third-party stuff because it's not my favorite. You just, like I said, you never know what you're going to get with this stuff. So hopefully this figure turns out as good as the proto looks. But for me, this figure is a buy because I love Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Like I said, I thought it was incredible. And he's going to go perfect with Cloud because I have the GameToys Cloud with the Daytona Hardy Daytona bike on pre-order. So those three are going to look really, really cool next to each other. They're going to take up some space, but I need some Final Fantasy action in my display because I just love these characters so much and just got connected with the game. Guys, look at that sculpt, though. That's incredible. That's Sephiroth right there from that angle. Nailed it. Look at the eyes. Soft features, eyes, hair, perfect. Really, really good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But for me, this is going to be a buy and this is going to be a pickup. So we'll go from there and let me know what you guys think in the comments. And this is WillFoxification signing off, and I will see you in the next video.